What's up guys, Intellitech Studios here. A long time no vid, but this is my recent acquisition, the Dyson DC25 blueprint. Now, I did do a proper unboxing video of this back when I got it, but some issues with moving stuff back and forth between phones and whatnot caused the footage to get corrupted. And technically speaking, I didn't really want to use it anyways because I was rather negative in the unboxing video and I don't really want to pass that kind of negativity along. So, I was just in a bad mood, that sort of thing. So I decided to just redo this video after I've cleaned up the machine and sort of, used it for a little bit. And overall, I can just talk about how I got it and what my plans are with it. So this, if you don't know, is Dyson's special edition version of the DC25 that was released back in early 2010 to commemorate the 5-year anniversary of the Dyson Ball series of vacuum cleaners, as the previous generation Dyson DC15, the Ball, was released in 2005, 5 years prior to this exact SKU. So it's also rather impressive when you look back on how much improvement they made over the DC15 in just a few short years, because the DC25 was an incredibly successful machine that lasted very long in terms of Dyson lifespan. And there are some ways that you can still get support for these machines today, even though they are vastly superseded by the DC41 platform and its various 5 or 6 different reincarnations. So, the DC25 blueprint, known in the UK as the DC25 drawing, is a special edition that not only commemorates what I mentioned earlier, but it also comes in a very special white, silver, and dark blue color scheme, and it features a lot of writing, very similar to what you would see on, well, a blueprint. So just going over different things like patent information, technical specifications, and whatnot, you'll see a lot of that on the DC25 blueprint. For example, you can see the 65-degree articulation highlighted here. Sorry about the squeaky wheels, that's something I need to do. So we can see the fourth wave silencers reduce fan tone by 20 decibels. Exposed to temperatures negative 3.99 degrees Fahrenheit to plus 122 degrees Fahrenheit. And I presume that would be in the proper Celsius for the UK version. Max airflow 52 CFM. Of course, many vacuum enthusiasts probably scoff at that number, but hey, root cyclone technology, clear bin, blah 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 blah. You get the idea. This may seem like trivial stuff, but a lot of people don't highlight this information, and it certainly can be interesting. So I acquired this machine in a trade from another collector named Zach, and I traded this for my Bissell PowerTrack Revolution, because even though I did really enjoy that machine for the time I had it, and it is one of my favorites out of the Bissell CleanView style designs, I still ultimately decided that I was realistically never going to use it, and as I hadn't used it outside of the videos ever since I moved, so it didn't make any sense to keep it. And soon I'll be acquiring the bagged version of it anyways, so it didn't make much sense to keep it. So that particular machine was traded out for this. And when I first got this machine, I was a little disappointed as there were a lot of things wrong with it. The first thing that you'll still notice is the power head is really warped and messed up on the inside. The brush roller has a very loud buzzing noise. The end cap on the side is very loose, and overall the cleaner head is in very poor condition. I will definitely have to replace both the brush roller and the end cap, if not the entire cleaner head, which is unfortunate. The post-motor filter had the same flaw that so many 25s have, where it was clogged up with carbon dust, and as a result, the air was escaping past the gasket, causing a very loud whistling noise. The pre-motor filter was missing entirely. The back wheels were not actually wanting to engage whenever I put the machine upright, and that issue still persists. A lot of times when I put this down, sometimes it takes multiple times to put it back upright. And there's also that. See, that time it went, but a lot of other times it doesn't. And it also, as you can see, does get stuck upright, but that I don't really consider a flaw because pretty much every 25 I've ever seen does that. and the changeover valve kept getting stuck. So the changeover valve was stuck open the first few times I messed with it, and as a result, there was obviously no seal here. This was a big open gap, so there was no suction going through to the hose. So after fiddling with the changeover valve, which is again a big failure point on 25s, I was able to get it to re-engage, and with a little bit of light lubrication, it has seemingly come back, but we'll see if I'm able to use the hose properly in this demo. And of course, the whole thing was just very dusty and dirty, so I had to wipe it down with a disinfecting wipe relatively thoroughly. There's also some yellowing that I was not aware of. But so yeah, overall, I'm not the most happy with this in terms of how I got it, but thankfully all this is stuff that I can fix except for the yellowing. And thankfully the yellowing isn't too bad. Now that I've cleaned it, it's not as noticeable, so I think I can live with it. It's pretty bad on this end cap, but obviously this end cap will have to be changed anyways, so I don't know how easy it is to find an end cap that's the right color or a brush roll that's the right color, because unfortunately a lot of really irritating sellers who have been refurbishing DC24s and 25s have been using the blueprint heads for the non-blueprint machines, and as a result it's really hard for me to find proper blueprint branded heads because nobody seems to care enough anymore. But hopefully I'm able to find and source a new blueprint cleaner head. So if anyone knows where I can get a blueprint cleaner head for a DC25, I would be all ears and I'd be interested in purchasing one. So yeah, so I will call Dyson tomorrow and see if I can source a cleaner head. I know I can source one for a normal 25, but I don't know about the blueprint. So there is that. And of course, I have to get a new set of filters for the 25 since I had to rob both of the filters from my red 25, since this 25 was missing the pre-motor filter and the post-motor filter was bad. So a little bit annoyed about that, but hey, I got the valve fixed. It has both the attachments. The cord's in good shape. The machine sounds okay. So looks like this thing will only need a set of filters and a cleaner head to get this thing back in tip-top shape. It doesn't have the same handle wiggle flaw that my red one has, so I'm hoping I can fix that on my red one because I like to ideally keep both, but worst case scenario, I might just get this one fixed and have this one be the 125 that I keep. So that was a lot of information. That was a lot of just kind of word vomit, but hopefully that was helpful. And I did use this in my living room very briefly as it needed vacuumed. And this brush roll, like I mentioned, makes a very loud buzzing noise. I very easily could swap this cleaner head with my other 25 for this demo. But yeah, I just want to show it the way it is, stock. So, but this was the result of vacuuming with that, and I will vacuum again. So not a lot when you realize how small this bin is and how many days it had been since I had vacuumed. But it's a DC25. These machines never cleaned very well. And hopefully getting this machine a new brush roll or even potentially an entire cleaner head will give it its best shot at a proper review. So, although the next Dyson I will be reviewing per popular request is the DC28 Air Muscle. So yeah, if we lay this down, we can see the brush roll, which likes to flop down for some reason. There we go. So we can see I just realized, so this isn't actually in properly. I'll just turn that with my fingernail. There we go. But even with that locked in, this still is just, I don't know, just these old Dysons, whether it be the DC18 or the DC25, these are just not designed well. These break all the time in terms of these end caps. The brush roller, there's also some play with the brush roller on this side too, so it's not just this side. So either the brush roller is stripped out, in which case I can just replace the brush roll and the end cap, which again, both are specific parts to the blueprint model. Or if this drive is stripped out, then I'm just going to have to change the entire cleaner head, which I hope to not have to do because, believe it or not, the bottom of this is actually in good shape. It's not too scratched up. There's a lot of scratches on the front, and of course some scratches on the side that I should be able to polish out if need be. So hopefully I can salvage this cleaner head. a lot of this text is also worn away. That's kind of to be expected. But if I can source a new cleaner head, I'll just go that route. So I will search for one after this video, and hopefully I find one. None of the places that I've asked around for so far have had cleaner heads for the Blueprint model in stock, which is freaking annoying. So that's that. Alright, so with that said, I warned you about how loud this brush roller is going to be. So let's go ahead and give this Blueprint a run. I was going to try to think of some sort of pun for that, but I couldn't think of any. So let's go. So that changeover valve still likes to get stuck. So I'll probably have to figure out some sort of trick to get that to be more cooperative. So, because you could probably hear during that last part where the suction was really weak because it wasn't quite sealed all the way, but it eventually got it. This machine is just such a complicated mess, but I love it. I don't know why. This machine is crap, but so many people like it. And it's just, I don't know. There's just a charm to it because these things were everywhere. And I never owned a 25 back in the day, nor did I ever even work on one. For some reason, in the area that I lived, nobody ever brought me a 25. I fixed 7s and 14s all day of the week back when I was a kid, and people brought me vacuums to fix. I guess, although I would presume the logic is because the 25 was the more sought after, more expensive variant, so maybe the logic was, I don't want this kid to potentially mess up my machine, so I'll only bring them the 24, the compact one, because I fixed a ton of 24s. Never even saw a 25 in person until my local vacuum shop got one in all floors. And I didn't buy it. I didn't actually get one myself until the red one that you've seen on the channel, followed by the purple that I just now sold, and now the Blueprint. So pretty interesting, at least to me. So yeah, this will be one of the many Dyson projects that I'm taking on, because I just, there's nothing. So if you have time, if you don't respect your own time and you have money to burn on overpriced parts, then a Dyson is a pretty good project to take on for sure. So yeah, this is the Dyson DC25 Blueprint, currently in possession of myself. And even though when I first got this, I was a little bit upset, I kind of had to let it sit for a while and just kind of come back to it and revisit it. But after doing a little bit of basic work to it, I was able to get it acceptable. At least it's acceptable. It will be acceptable once the brush roll stops buzzing and once the changeover valve stops being a pain and starts actually behaving. So we're almost there. We're almost there. So on the bright side, it does work. Motor sounds okay. Brush roll motor makes a bit of a burning smell, so that's another reason why I'm just going to change the entire cleaner head if I can. But yeah, so a bit of a project, but it's not undoable. It's definitely, there's no damage to the housing or to the spine that I'm aware of. Like I said, the kickstand's a little funky, but hopefully that won't get worse. And thankfully, it's not nearly as bad as the dumpster fire that was the foot release and the changeover valve on the DC18s. As much as I like the DC18, that system is just trash. So Dyson has definitely learned a lot of lessons as far as that goes. So that's that. This is the Dyson DC25 blueprint. So definitely other videos coming soon. Let me know what you want to see me do videos on. I did already get a request to do a review on the Dyson DC28 air muscle. So my next Dyson review will very much likely be the DC28 as per popular request. And I still need to find a brush roller and base plate for my DC27. So that is that. This is Intellitech Studios signing out. I hope you enjoyed this video. And let me know what you want to see from this channel next and throughout 2023. This is Intellitech Studios signing out. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And yeah, have a good one. Peace.